In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Jar Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Jar Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jar Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
It's a typical price pattern every year. As Ramadan approaches, the cost of essential commodities climbs, sometimes sharply, and 2025 is no exception. 2 weeks ago, just 10 days before the start of fasting for the country's 2 million plus Muslims, the Bakers Association tried to increase the price of bread by more than 25%. And in the first 3 days of Ramadan, we are all having to pay more for basic essentials including oil, sugar, and onions. And it's only a matter of time before the price of bread follows suit by going up as well. You may recall that I hosted the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Trade recently amid the bakers' call for a price revision, and this was what Abdoulaye Jammeh told me.
We are discussing frankly with them. If there is a need to increase, it will be, but it requires a review of all the production costs. We will review exactly what government is giving you, and then if there is a window for increment, it will. If there is no window for increment, maybe we will leave it at $10 for now.
It also emerged from that conversation that despite a ban on the importation of flour to protect the 2 mills producing locally, the Bakers Union was allowed to import what is believed to be superior quality flour to use with the local variety. But what I don't understand is, why would they import premium flour to mix with the local flour?
No, they say that it helps in improving the quality of their bread.
Yeah, but you should establish that what they are telling you is the truth, because apparently they are mixing and giving to people without officials knowing what they are bringing in. Premium flour to mix with our flour. Is our flour that bad?
No,
that they have to import?
No, it's 2 levels. They've complained that the quality of our flour, if they use it alone.
What's the problem with the quality? Is it good or bad?
They complain that it's low.
So why are we being made to consume low quality flour?
Now we have engaged the mills. They said they are, we have a standard on flour, a national standard on flour.
Yes. And the one we are producing is substandard.
No, it's not substandard. It's meeting that.
Low quality then?
No, the low quality, but no, it's not substandard.
Well, that was Abdoulaye Jammeh, Deputy PS in the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment. Well, his claim flabbergasted one of the local producers, Gambia Milling Company, GMC, and they have responded by sending their commercial director to the same program Abdoulaye Jammeh spoke on to clarify and also paid for advertising.
Our flour is made from high-grade wheat, imported from global markets and blended to produce the best flour in the Gambia. At GMC, every bag of Eco 65 flour is fortified with vitamins and minerals, undergoes rigorous testing and quality controls to ensure that the flour produced meets our high-quality standards. Our flour is bagged and stored, then delivered all over the country the following day. Eco 65 is the flour of choice for the Gambian Tapalapa bakeries. Bread is highly consumed in every household. The flour is trusted for its high quality. It's delicious, easy to work with, and the bread is big. Flour made locally in Banjul and delivered all over the country.
Omar Ali, thank you very much for coming to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez.
You're highly welcome, Uncle Peter.
Fantastic.
Thank you for having me on your show today, and thank you for the listeners. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Let's talk about your company, GMC. What can you tell us about GMC?
Uncle Peter, GMC has been in existence since 2013. We're employing 120 Gambians, local staff. We produce high-quality flour, and we deliver it across the country. Okay, our flour is, when we mean quality, we mean three things. That the flour is fortified to Gambian standards, as approved and attested by the FSQA. Currently, fortification levels are 0.26 parts per million for folic acid. Iron, it's 6 parts per million. Okay. Why do we need to do this? Because we want to have nutritious flour available to the Gambian population. 95% of Gambians have bread for breakfast, and it's important. It's the fuel for the nation. Okay. Number two, when we talk about quality, we talk about the presentation of the bread. Okay, the bread has to look nice. It has to be appealing, and the taste has to be good. Number three, it's the yield per bag. So there's an industry standard in the Gambia for the number of baguettes, number of dozen per bag, and our flour meets and exceeds that requirement. So that's what we mean by quality. Okay. The other thing is we produce flour in the Gambia. We import, as you saw from the video, we import wheat from global markets. And we blend those wheats to produce high quality, high grade flour. So the flour is naturally, let's say, nutritious, and it has a good texture. It has a good characteristics. So that is the flour that we sell to the market. We've done a study when we started the mill. We looked at the bread in the Gambia. We identified the Tapalapa as being the most consumable artisanal bread in the Gambia, and we tailored the Eco 65 accordingly to make sure that the Tapalapa breads, as you saw from that video, come out very nice. It's presentable, it's nutritious, it's delicious. Not to say that you cannot use Eco 65 flour for Senfo baguettes as well, but obviously you have to make some adjustments into the mixing process. We produce fresh flour, as the video shows as well. We can produce the flour today and have it delivered in Basse tomorrow. So it's available for everybody, so the bakers can use it and provide the satisfied, presentable breads to their customers.
When you could hear from that clip, from my conversation with the DPS.
Yes.
It was actually on the 19th of February, a day after our Diamond Jubilee celebrations in Banjul.
Yes.
When we were talking about the quality of the flour produced locally, when he used low quality instead of substandard to describe the flour that is produced local, and I'll come to why, the comparison was made. How did you react?
I think it's important that we clarify that point a little bit, because there are two things, okay? When it comes to standards, okay, I can assure you that our flour is up to standard in terms of its fortification levels. When they talk about quality, I mentioned the three characteristics about quality.
Yes.
From baker's perspective, they're interested in the yield per bag.
Okay.
So when they say low quality, what that typically means is that they want a higher yield. And why do they want a higher yield?
In other words, they want more loaves of bread out of a bag.
Correct. They want to push the flour.
Okay.
They want to increase their yield so that they can maximize their profits. And why do they want to do that? Because, as we all know, cost of, as you mentioned in the program at the start, the cost of essential commodities is going up. And, you have improver, yeast, you have NAWEC, you have diesel.
Even salt.
Even salt is...
Yes.
So we all want, we want the bakers to succeed, and we want them to use high-quality flour, but it's available in the Gambia, and it's produced by GMC.
Yeah, because he says that they have to import premium flour. This is why the window was opened, even though there's a ban on importation of flour into the country, because it is assumed that your company and another company, between the two of you, you can produce more than the Gambia needs.
That is correct.
In terms of flour.
That is correct.
But this window was open for them to import premium flour, as the DPS, described it. What's premium flour?
I just want to mention a couple of things. I think it's important. This concept of premium flour has to do with the concept of mixing in the Gambia. Okay, bakers typically like to mix different types of flour because it's something that they like to do. It's like they think to hedge their bets. We can mix A with B. Currently, they're mixing Nessim with GMC, and they're getting the yields that they're getting the yield. But you can't push the flour to its extent and expect that the presentation will be good. It comes at a trade-off. So when the importers put forward the case for premium flour, they were suggesting that the yield would increase to such an extent that the presentation of the bread would be very good. And at the same time, they would have high yield per bag, which unfortunately it doesn't work that way because the flour has certain water absorption characteristics, which if you tinker with it, you can get bread that isn't presentable, and that's the trade-off.
Okay, so the Bakers Union claims that the price of flour has gone up and up. That is why they are also demanding to increase the price of bread. Why is the price of flour going up?
Uncle Peter, the price of flour hasn't gone up.
It hasn't?
It hasn't gone up. Our flour price has been the same. We've maintained price stability in the market. During COVID in 2019, the government asked us to store to store wheat because of the problems that happened during COVID, logistics, supply chain problems during COVID. And we stored 6 months worth of wheat in our silos. We have continuously provided steady, reliable flour to the Gambia population. We haven't increased prices. We did increase prices in 2019. In 2022, during the Russia-Ukraine war, again there was a wheat shock. Due to the global wheat markets, there was a supply shock because Russia was sanctioned, and so Russia accounts for 40% of the global wheat market. So the price of wheat went up. But again, we didn't increase our prices through negotiations, through certain mechanisms with the government. We've maintained price stability. In fact, I would suggest that this imported flour is being priced at a higher price than our flour.
Is that why the bakers now... So when the bakers say the price of flour has gone up, it means the flour that they are bringing into this country, their union at least.
Exactly. Well, it's the importers. It's the importers. And they're selling the flour at between $2,000 $2,000 to $2,100 per bag, and we're selling at $1,940.
Oh wow!
That's the market price.
A difference of at least $50.
$50 to $60. Yes. The price of flour hasn't gone up. It's an important factor in the cost structure for the bakeries, but it hasn't gone up.
Oh wow!
And the issue is that the cost of wheat has gone up, right? So wheat prices have gone up, and the cost of the imported flour has gone up accordingly, because, as your previous guest correctly mentioned, we'll call it sales tax for the listeners to understand. Sales taxes have changed. The landed cost has changed, okay? And so the importers are finding it difficult to sell their flour to the Bakers Union.
Because there's this digital tax,
Yes,
digital stamp tax that everybody
let's
pays.
call it sales tax so
Yeah.
that everybody can understand.
Okay.
We call it sales tax, okay? Whether it's tariffs, whether it's stamp duty, whether it's COT or whatever. Let's just call it a sales tax. Those taxes keep changing, but those are government requirements, right? The cost of the flour has also changed. The prices have changed in the global markets. The landed cost has also changed, so that's affected their price, their cost structure.
And because you are producing locally,
we are producing locally.
You can avoid some of those extra costs.
Yes, we're producing locally. We've maintained steady prices. We have been a reliable partner to the Gambia. We've been providing stable, high quality bread flour to the Gambian market. We also have a premium flour product called the Arch. Obviously, you get what you pay for. It's a little bit more expensive. Mm-hmm. But there is premium quality flour
but
available
it would still cost
in the market.
Less than the premium type they are importing, wouldn't it?
It's thereabouts. It's thereabouts because there's a discounted price. But yes, it's priced equivalent to let's say the premium flour that the importers are importing. One important thing I'd like to mention about the imported flour is that it does not meet the standards in the Gambia.
It doesn't?
It doesn't.
Why is it allowed, to be on the market then?
We understand that it's not fulfilling...
Because standards are there, I suppose, to protect our health and safety.
Yes, it's not up to standard. It's not up to standard.
Well, this is something Motai needs to look into.
Yes.
Take a minute maybe to probably, pass on a message, Omar?
We're a partner. We want to supply bread to have bread flour available in the Gambia, okay? And we want to maintain price stability, and we want to make sure that ultimately there is food security in the country. And this is very important because bread is the fuel of the nation, and we want to have bread available for every Gambian.
And also keep the what? 120
yes.
or 200
yes.
employees you have,
yes,
exactly. Working, because if you were to close down for whatever reason.
Exactly. We employ 120 Gambians, okay? We pay our taxes. We provide our social security contributions. We have a corporate social responsibility program. And Uncle Peter, you live you're from Half Dai, right? You see the ward. You see how youthful employment is important. In fact, one of your guests on Friday, Ibrahim Abba, his story was was harrowing to listen to and to see. And by providing employment, gainful employment to Gambians, we're preventing people from going across a perilous journey. And they can the trickle down effect. You see, the breadwinners are supporting their families. And the shops and the fuller man and the tire man and everybody is benefiting from our organization.
So GMC deserves the protection it's getting. Omar, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
Omar
you, Uncle
Ali,
Peter.
Commercial Director at GMC. It's Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, live on West Coast Radio, 92.1 on FM, on YouTube. Ja Oil is sponsor.
In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Ja Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Ja Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Ja Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. with a focus on sustainability and innovation. We are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jaha Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.